Hello there, and welcome to The Bad Word from another undisclosed location. I am your host, David Shelton, and welcome to my post election analysis, or as I like to call it, a post election analysis, because trying to cope with the fact that Donald Trump is going to be our next president feels like anal that I didn't want or expect. Don't ask me how I know that. Anyway, it hasn't been a great 2 weeks, or almost 2 weeks, since Donald Trump has been elected. So far, there have been over 400 racial incidents since the election, and a lot of it has been, chants of build a wall. You've had racist graffiti, and you even had verbal and physical assaults. Actually, both from and towards Trump supporters, and of course, it's mostly been from Trump supporters because, yeah, just, I guess, a case of sore winnerdom. It's not a word, but we're going to make it one. Anyway, Donald Trump's response to this was in an interview with 60 Minutes was stop it. It's a direct quote from our president. His response to people basically committing hate crimes in his name was stop it, as if his supporters are a bunch of toddlers, which, to be fair, they kind of are. But since Donald Trump's been elected, obviously he's had to make a transition. He's going to have to fill, thousands of. He's going to have to be a job creator and fill out all the posts and all the positions in Washington and within his White House. And so far, he's not doing a great job of it. So far, he's offered cabinet positions to white nationalist and poor man's John Goodman, Steve Bannon. He's offered a position to accused racist, climate change denier, and torture supporter Jeff Sessions. And he's even offered a position to the chair of the RNC, Reince Priebus. And if that doesn't make you shit your pants, more names that have been floated around for potential cabinet positions are Sarah Palin, Rudy Giuliani, and Vladimir Putin, probably. But, see, Donald Trump ran a campaign on him being an outsider, and one phrase that he used was drain the swamp. He promised to drain the swamp of Washington insiders and lobbyists, and right now he is currently attempting to fill his cabinet with Washington insiders and lobbyists, including some of those names include Verizon lobbyist Jeffrey Eisenach, oil lobbyist Michael Catanzaro, and food lobbyist Michael Tory. This, to me, this is kind of like a friend telling you he's going to stop smoking. He's going to stop snorting cocaine, and instead he's going to replace it with smoking crack. This, I don't. I've never understood Donald Trump's thinking, but I feel like I'm getting worse at it. Like, I could never really understood what he thought, but now I'm trying to understand what he was doing here, and it doesn't register. But as I said before, nothing this man has ever done or said has registered to me. So I don't know. Maybe one of us is just crazy. A lot of people would think it's me, but what are you gonna do? Now, anyway, moving on to the response to this election, it wasn't positive, to say the least. Not even a day after Donald Trump had been officially elected, several cities erupted in protests and riots, and a lot of people took to Twitter because, fuck going outside. I can't blame them for that. I don't even like going outside. But this was met with a lot of pushback from conservatives and even a few liberals saying that rioting isn't the way you want to get your point across, and you look like thugs, And why can't you just accept the results? Get off my lawn. Arr. And but what I find funny is that, well, the president of the United States, well, the guy who we will be calling president of the United States, was refusing to accept the result if he didn't win. So, yeah, you were kind of silent on that. And then you also had conservatives like Joe Walsh and Ted Nugent who have threatened armed insurrection against both President Obama in 2012. That was Nugent. And this year, Joe Walsh tweeted he'll be grabbing his musket if Hillary Clinton wins. So basically, all the shit you were talking, liberals followed through. And now you're mad at them. Oh, you conservatives kill me. Or at least I know you want to. Now, as far as the riots goes, get over yourselves. Yeah, get over yourselves. People have been saying this, that this isn't a good way to get your point across. Well, here's the thing. Boston Tea Party didn't have cookies in it. The American Revolution was not a pillow fight. See, those people fought injustice and they fought tyranny. And Donald Trump kind of embodies those two things. I mean, as well as a lot of other bad shit. Like, racism. Yeah. So, no. Just fuck off with that. See, if you... Now, it's not my place to tell people what to do. If you want to protest, you're allowed to protest. It's not my place or anyone else's place to tell you how. I mean, like we've tried several protests. People have tried protesting on Facebook, Twitter, football games, the whole kneeling thing, and nothing. It seems like every way people, especially minorities, try to protest, there's always pushback. You're not doing it right. You want to know how you protest? You shut the fuck up and you deal with it. It's not a protest. What? No. See, the thing is, people are allowed to protest. And, I mean, it's kind of a right. It's that thing you always shout about when you're chanting your gun, when you have your guns and your rights and whatnot. So you can't really tell people how to protest. So if protesters outside of Trump Tower want to piss on the side of it, or throw bricks through the windows, or throw Mazel Tov cocktails through the windows of Trump Towers, I can't tell you not to do that. I can say I don't agree with it. I'm not going to say that, but I can if I choose to. But I can't tell you what to do. This is America. And there is a racist demagogue on his way to the White House. So, you got to do what you got to do to stop that. Bernie Sanders called for a political revolution. Well, here's the thing. Revolutions, I don't know too many that were fought in a voting booth. I do know a lot of revolutions that have been nastier than Hillary Clinton, to be quite honest with you, and they've been bloody. Maybe I'm not saying that's what we need, but all I can say is strap in and strap on if you're into that sort of thing, and get ready for a fight. Now, one thing that has kind of offered liberals hope, like a tiny glimpse of it, is that Donald Trump has been reneging on a few of his campaign promises, such as his wall, which he said can, partially be fencing. He's also reneging on Obamacare a little bit. He said he's praised parts of it and said there are parts that he will keep. And this has led to a lot of conservatives and liberals who were initially against Trump to say, well, hey, we're stuck with him, so give him a chance. Fuck that and fuck you. Here's the thing. Donald Trump had his chance. It's been the last year and a half. It's called an election. And in the last year and a half, when we gave him a chance, when we gave him chance after chance after chance after chance, this is what he has done. Fix my glasses just so I can make sure that I read all of this shit correctly. He has insulted millions of Americans, insulted political opponents. He's talked about his dick during debates. He has been accused of fraud. He's been accused of sexual assault. He's proposed a ban on Muslim immigrants. He's proposed a Muslim registry. That's straight out of motherfucking World War II. That actually happened to Jews. And it's similar to what happened to the Japanese. Not somewhere else. That happened. The thing that happened to the Japanese, that happened here. So, so much for fucking progress. Let's see. He has advocated for torture. He's mocked a disabled reporter. But I'm not a rapper. He's displayed no understanding of foreign or domestic policy. He's attacked the media and essentially demonized them. And this is the same media that is partially responsible for him being president. He has incited violence against his detractors, and he's given a platform to racism, xenophobia, and the alt-right movement. And he's essentially made these things okay. So you know what? He's had plenty of chances, and guess what? He fucked up on all of them. And there's another part to this. See, we as minorities, people of color, blacks, Latinos, gays, women, just any minority, we don't really have time to give Donald Trump a chance. See, if you're white or you're a minority with money and you have enough money for round-the-clock security detail and maybe a little left over to survive the impending depression from when he completely fucks the US dollar and economy, then yeah, I guess you can stand to give him a chance. But there are people who are not millionaires. There are people who either can't afford affordable health insurance or don't have it provided for them through their work. There are people who will have to live under a minimum wage, who have to be living on minimum wage under a regime that believes that minimum wage is just fine the way it is. Newsflash, it isn't. And if you want to know more about that, you can watch one of my videos. It's on my channel. It's on why we need an increased minimum wage and how if minimum wage increased as inflation increased, it would be over $20 an hour today. But, shameless plug. But there are people here who are Muslim or who may not be here legally. Those people, we don't have the time, nor do we have the luxury / privilege. There's that word. You see privilege, see what I did there? Yeah, we don't have the luxury or privilege to give Donald Trump a chance. He's had his chance. And he has shown total disregard for anyone but him, his creepy purge movie family, he's only shown regard for himself, his creepy purge family, and his blind racist idiot followers. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, Donald Trump's followers aren't all the same. And that is true. That I can give you. I do not think that we should put all of Donald Trump's supporters in what do you call it? It's not a bucket. It's not a pail. Basket. Yes, we should not put all of Donald Trump's supporters in a basket. See what that did? Yeah, you get it. But you have to put it into perspective. When Donald Trump supporters are not all racist. That I will give you. It's ignorant to say that. But when despite the fact that he has been openly racist and that he has essentially empowered people to be more openly racist, that in and of itself is just as bad. Because you yourself may not be racist. You may have friends of all different races and nationalities, and you may love them all equally. You may not see color. You may be colorblind. You may be colorblind, even though it's really not a thing. However, when you are blind to a man inciting racism and allowing racism to breathe, you're being complicit in the face of racism. And I think a lot of Germans who may not have supported Hitler but didn't say anything, I think Jews who had to witness that, who had to witness people not say anything, I think that the complicity is just as bad as the act itself. But allow me to try and simplify this. Allow me to try to say this in a way that Americans seem to understand. Just get myself ready. Hold on. Just give me 1 second. Our country is in serious trouble. Minorities have become a dumping ground for everyone else's problems. And these are not the best and the finest. When we talk about Trump supporters, we're not talking about you. We're talking about people who have lots of problems. They're bringing anger, they're bringing crime, they're racists, and some, I assume, are good people. And scene. Oh, and one more thing. Oh, yeah. That just happened. As I said, Trump supporters are not all terrible. Some are just dumb and short-sighted. Some are tired of the same old bullshit in electoral politics and they just wanted something new. But the thing is, electing Donald Trump isn't a way to go about getting something new. It's a way to go about getting something dead. His insane views, his checkered past, his deplorable, there's that word, business record, and his lack of political knowledge all should have disqualified him from being president. But, of course, this is America. And as John Oliver said in a talk right after the election, he described Americans as defiant. Unfortunately, he left part of this, he left something out. Americans are defiant. Oftentimes, they are defiant in the faces of logic, rationality, compassion, and wisdom. Truth be told, we fucked up royally, and it is going to take a lot of strength and unity and probably some fuckery to fix this fuck up. So, to my fellow minorities, I am here for you. I will be here fighting the good fight, trying to educate the masses. Hasn't worked, obviously, but if I would be a hypocrite if I told you not to give up and then gave up myself. But you gotta help me. I can't do this alone. And I'm expecting you to be better. Just not even, and that's not even to my fellow minorities, that's to everyone. You have to be better. And yeah, good luck. I'll be here helping you fight the good fight. I mean, until shit really hits the fan, then I'm taking my black ass to Sweden. But yeah, I'm gonna do my best. So for now, I bid you adieu. This has been The Bad Word with David Shelton. You can follow me on Twitter at RealDaveShelton. And yeah, I will see you soon. Yeah. Gonna go play this now. Pokemon Sun and Moon. I'm a nerd. I get it.